James Lynch here for MiddleEasy. Happy to be joined by one half of the New England cartel, Rob Font, who's going to be taking on Chito Vera in the main event of UFC Fight Night on April 30th. Rob, how's it going, man? Live from the hotel room.
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on, bro. Thank you.
Hey, pleasure's all mine. And by the way, I got to mention you're in the hotel because Combat Zone, which is Calvin Kattar's promotion, got a big show going on right now. A lot of notable names on there. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about that show and give some shine to some of the brightest talent in New England?
Yeah, man. Calvin Kattar coming to Encore out here in Boston. This is big. This is huge for him. I'm excited for him. We also have a stacked card. We have my boy Nick Fiore fighting in the main event. We also have Rico DeShulo, local, New England legend. Mitch Raposo's coming back, and we also have Charles Rosa's little brother fighting. So another great card. I'm excited for the card. I'm excited for Calvin, and I just can't wait for tonight.
Yeah, and that's so crazy that Calvin, here's a featherweight contender still running a show. I think that's so cool. So that's awesome. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I want to make sure I got this correct. I saw a photo on Instagram. Were you in the Bahamas recently, or was that an old photo?
Yeah. I was in the Bahamas not too long ago.
When did you go? Because I was on vacation too, but I was in Mexico. It was like a couple weeks ago. When were you guys down there?
What was the day you was out there?
Through the 8th, March.
Sounds like you were there the same time as me. I was March 1st to March 8th. So we were both enjoying paradise. That's cool.
Yeah, I had a blast out there. The weather was beautiful. The food was great. Yeah, I can't complain, man. It was a great time out there.
Do you try and do that every year? Get like one all-inclusive in? Because you need that break, right? You need that time off with your girl, right?
I've tried to. We tried to. Obviously, it's tough with fighting and scheduling, but yeah, we try to at least once on the year.
So did you find out about the fight while you were on vacation? Like, tell me how this came together with you fighting Chito Vera.
So I got the next day I came back from vacation. Tyson called. We was in the gym getting Nick ready for his fight, and we got the call, and I was just like, perfect, let's go.
Good stuff. What does it mean, man? Third straight main event. Like, that's got to feel good knowing the company's behind you and they think you're worthy enough to be in a main event again. Like, that's got to give you a lot of confidence, just knowing the promotion's behind you.
Yeah, I definitely believe they know I'm there. I'm gonna make weight. I'm gonna put on exciting fights, and and I think they trust me with the main event spot.
Yeah, no, for sure. And obviously you've been fighting nothing but killers. You fought Aldo in your last fight. Not the result you wanted, but what did you learn the most from that fight? Because Aldo's a legend, man.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, fighting guys like that, it's always going to be hard fights, but. It sucks to lose to a guy like that because technically, obviously I lost, but I definitely learned a lot, and I think I figured out how to fight the 5-round fight and not necessarily do too much too early and kind of let the fight play out instead of rush into it.
But the cartel got a big win shortly after that. Calvin Kattar getting it done over Chikadze. I know Calvin gave me a hard time about my pick, but look, he looked great, man. I got to give him. By the way, I loved how Calvin did that. If any fighters are watching out there, that's how you handle someone picking against you, because it's, unless you're being really rude about it, that's how you do it. So I loved how Calvin did that. But how inspiring was that? Because Calvin had the time off. A lot of people were counting him out, and he comes back in there and takes out a guy that really felt like he was already starting to talk about Volkanovski, and he forgot he had to fight Calvin Kattar.
Yeah, no, it was like one of those things like where people really must have forgot about Calvin Kattar because the lead up to that fight, people like the way the way his opponent was talking, it was just crazy. The media was counting him out. It was like, yeah, it was kind of like unbelievable how people kind of wasn't even really counting on him as far as winning this fight or even looking good in this fight, and then to go out there and do what he did in dominant fashion and basically gassed out Giga one takedown, like just one takedown, put him down, and it was almost like too good to be true because it was like, wow, like he's really, because obviously Tyson drew up the ground play and we knew once you get a takedown, we could wear him down with anything that would gas him out. It was bad. He got up, he almost fell over, and he didn't even land a punch. So we knew it was going to be a pretty good night for us. But yeah, it was kind of like put the pressure on him, see how he reacts to the takedown, and after that, it was all Calvin Kattar. You saw he was having fun. He was throwing spinning elbows. He's throwing pretty much anything he wanted to throw out there.
What did you make of Chikadze's post-fight comments right after saying, I beat Calvin 9 out of 10 times? I know Calvin kind of took it on the chin. It was kind of like, whatever. But what did you think of that? Because you guys are, the cartel, part of that's, being classy guys, right?
Yeah, no, it's you got the internet guys. They got to say what they got to say, regardless if they win or lose. He knows damn well. He felt it. We all saw. We all saw what happened in there. He felt it. There's no way. There was no way after one takedown, gassing out like that, but he would beat him like that. And he hit him with some good shots too, and he hit him with some solid kicks, and it wasn't like Chikadze has this amazing boxing skill, where he's gonna just, this clean, like put guys away with clean shots. He's kick heavy. Calvin shut down those kicks, and after that, you saw what happened, man. It was complete dominations the whole fight.
Yeah. Let's talk about Chito Vera. Really, really exciting fight. I mean, this has got fight of the year written all over. Dare I say, just with your styles and how you guys sort of match up. How are you looking at this fight from a style perspective?
He's a lanky Muay Thai / BJJ fighter. I love the matchup. I'm familiar with his style, and I just can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be great. What did you make of his win over Edgar? Because I don't know, maybe I'm wrong here. I thought it was pretty competitive, and then Vera obviously knocked him out and finished the fight. But what did you make of that fight with Edgar? Because that was sort of the fight that got him this one.
Yeah, I got to rewatch it again. But I think I was giving Frankie the fight the first couple rounds, if I'm not mistaken. Then out of nowhere, Chito came back and got the W. Is that how you had it?
Yeah, kind of like I felt like Edgar was ahead. Yeah, and I mean maybe the best guy to ask this, and I'll definitely be interviewing him, is Tyson, because he's probably in there, finding little things that we won't see, because that guy's a magician. But I was just curious about that, because people look at the result and they see knockout, but if you watch the whole fight, I thought it was pretty competitive.
Yeah, no, if I'm not mistaken, I'll rewatch it here again soon. But I thought Frankie was winning, and then I was real impressed with how how Chito came back. I think that's what I was more impressed about. It's hard if you beat a guy like Frankie. Of course, your confidence is soaring through the roof right now. He's hungry. He's always there to fight, and he gets this opportunity to get his main event going. So it's like this guy's coming in there to handle business.
Training camp, anything different for this camp, or is business as usual as far as training partners and all that? How's camp looking ahead of this?
Business as usual. We'll bring in the lankier guys, a lot of southpaws, and lots of jiu-jitsu guys. But same coaches, same team. Just putting our head down and getting the work done.
I know he's not a karate guy, but will you be working with Ross Levine? Because I know he was a big asset in Calvin's camp, more so for Chikadze's sort of style and stuff. But I don't know if you work with him at all, just because Ross is obviously very talented.
Oh no, Ross is the man. He's the man. I pick up any chance, like even if I just talk to him, I'm picking up tricks from him. He's a man. I'll be seeing him at the Muay Thai gym coming soon, and we'll definitely be working with him.
It's good. Weight cut. When does that start for you? And you're still working with perfecting athletes, right?
Yeah. We're consulting with perfecting athletes, and the diet's coming down. We'll probably really start cutting weight the second week out of before the fight.
That's good. Didn't eat too much in the Bahamas, or you kind of worried after that, because trust me, I know myself. I came home and I was like, like I'm in trouble. I got to, and luckily I don't have a fight coming up, but man, it was a lot of good food over there. So I can relate. That's good. Your corner, I imagine Tyson, Calvin, anything different there? What's the corner looking like?
Actually, it's funny you say that. Actually, Jake can't make it to this fight.
Okay.
His best friend. It's funny too, because he said it. He said it before once the UFC put out the schedule, he's like, man, I hope nobody gets this fight. And then, sure enough, I got the date, but his best friend's getting married, so he's gonna come out fight week. He'll do the whole fight week with us. He just won't be able to corner me that night, and then but we'll throw in Nick Fiore in there to help out.
That's great. One interesting thing about this fight, if you look at it on paper, Chito Vera, extremely tough to finish. Rob Font, extremely tough to finish. So how are you looking at this one? I mean, I'm kind of looking at this as being an absolute war. How do you see it? Obviously, you don't want it like that. Probably like to go in and out, just like the Marlon Moraes fight. But how are you looking at this one from the prediction standpoint?
I'm gonna knock him out. I'm getting him out of there. Yeah, I got to come back and get a big finish, man. I got to get in there, get him out of there, and get that shine back, because obviously the last one was big, and I got to make up for that one.
You talked about it there. I mean, if you go out there and finish Chito Vera, does that put you back in that spot you were in prior to the Aldo fight, do you think? Because it's a deep division, but man, you got some really good wins in there.
Yeah, man, I don't know. We'll see, man. I think obviously it keeps me in the mix. Obviously I was hoping for for the number 4 guy, like Cory Sandhagen, but the matchup didn't happen. But this is another tough one. I'm not here to pick and choose and match my way to the top. I'm just here to fight, and we'll let Tyson and Sean kind of deal with that.
Yeah, was there any serious talks about you fighting Sandhagen? Because I think most people felt like that was the obvious choice with the fact that you lost to Aldo, he lost to Jan, and Sandhagen and you, it would just be kind of an exciting fight. Do you know if there was any serious talks about that?
I don't. I figure that's what we're going for. Yeah, I figured, we'll again, I wasn't even like Chito was nowhere near on my radar, so like I definitely didn't think that this fight was gonna play out, but.
Let's say, well, let me ask you this, and I'm just asking this. I mean, the fight's booked, so you're going to fight him. It doesn't matter. But if you had a preference, like, would it have been Sandhagen, and then maybe I don't know, like who, if you could have ranked your opponents that you would have wanted after that last fight, who would you have kind of gone with? If you could name 3 opponents,
it probably would have been either Sandhagen for sure. Yeah, I was just thinking Sandhagen. I was the only guy.
No, what about Dominick Cruz? I know Cruz, I think, is ranked lower. Would Dominick Cruz have been an interesting fight for you or no?
Yeah. I mean, definitely, like, obviously, like a big name like that, I'm always going to jump at. But I figured it just made more sense. I wasn't even like think there would be no, unless he couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I just figured it would just happen.
And I know it doesn't make sense ranking wise, but the guy's got a lot of popularity and clout. Sean O'Malley, would that have been an interesting fight had they offered you that? Because again, he's got all the momentum and everything. Was that a fight you ever sort of thought of?
Yeah, I mean, no. But that's one of those fights. You do it for the gram, man. You go out there and put them away, and you get 1 million followers, right? So, yeah, I would have definitely entertained that if I had sit out for a while. But in my mind, I was trying to get the guy in front of me.
What do you make of his run in the UFC? I mean, a lot of the wins he's had, and are guys that aren't in the UFC anymore. Do you think that, do you think he's legit, like people are saying, or do you think he needs to be tested a bit more?
No, I do. I think he's legit. I can see the skill in there. I can see what he's doing. I see the setups. I see the patience in some of his fights, and then even the numbers, especially like in that last fight with Chris. Like it's there, man. He's got to step up and fight higher competition, but he will eventually. And I'm excited to see how it plays out. He's doing his thing, so we'll see.
How would you match up against O'Malley if you two fought?
I love that fight, man. I love him. I love it. Like, I think it'll be a fun one for like maybe 2 rounds, and after that, I definitely think I'll take over that fight for sure.
Okay, we got to take a sharp turn here, but we have to talk about it because it's in the news. Cain Velasquez, just your thoughts on that whole situation. I know you don't have kids, but man, it's just a really, really messed up situation.
That is tough, man. It's tough. Like, yeah, man. It's like one of those things. Like Dana White said, like it's one of those things you always talk about and the things that you would do, but he actually went out there and did it. So it's kind of like you feel for him, man, because like, why he did it, but then it's like it's tough because you can't just be out there doing that. So it's a tough situation. But I just hope everything works out. I hope he gets the right legal team and something happens.
Absolutely. And my last question, Tom Brady's coming back. How surprised were you? Do you think he went home and he's like, I got to do housework. I think I'm going to go back and play football.
He said, fuck these kids, man. I'm going back out. No, sure. He's back, man. I just think that's just that competitive edge in him. He's got to go out there and dominate and compete. And yeah, I guess he just wasn't ready to call it quits.
There we go. Rob, really appreciate the time. Think about it. You could be watching Netflix right now with your girl in the hotel room and you decided to talk to me instead. So I appreciate it, man. We're looking forward to it. It's UFC Fight Night, April 30th. Anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media, I'll give you the last word.
I just want to thank you. Appreciate for having me on and give a huge shout out to Miss Catherine Frias. Beautiful Miss Catherine Frias. She's getting ready right now for the show. And I just want to support everybody that supports me, all my friends, family. And